Okay, so what I want to see in front of you is kind of our bingo board handout. So what's going to happen on one side is going to be kind of the bingo review to start for practice benchmark, but it's still going to be considered a quiz grade. So the best way to raise your grade would be with tomorrow's practice benchmark quiz. Okay, I really want you to do well. Next week is the real benchmark, and that's going to help your score on an effort level, but it's not going to ruin your score so much with like a midterm or a final would. It's going to be a little different. So when you take your pencil or pen, I don't care about what your writing utensil is. I want you to start filling in these boxes. And what I'm going to do is you're going to fill it in 1 through 16. And we've done this before, but just pick anywhere on the box, anywhere you want, and put a 1. Anywhere you want. It can be your own order, okay? Anywhere you want, put a 1, and then just go in order. And you just keep jumping around wherever you want to put these numbers, but you cannot use the same number twice. So some kids just start putting numbers and they don't know where they're at. So what I ask you guys to do is go in order. So go from 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You get the idea. Anywhere you want. Till you have all 16 numbers in the box, okay? And we're going to start kind of crossing these out as we play our bingo game for raffle tickets, okay? All right, so the first question I'm going to give you, let's just keep it kind of simple. Right here on the side here, why don't you go ahead and try this one out for me? All right, go ahead and solve for X and solve for Y. All right, as you've done that, let's go ahead and do it together. You're going to take this chunk here, and you're going to put it right there, okay? So you're going to have 4x plus 2 equals x plus 14. Letters to the left. Constants to the right. X equals 4. If x equals 4, let's plug it back in. All right, 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 2 is 18. All right. All right, 4. Let's take 4 and cross out 4. All right. All right, next problem. We're just going to jump around. I know this is paper, doesn't have it really specific where you're going to show your work, but let's go ahead over on the side and let's try a different one here. Let me make sure I give you one that's not too crazy. All right, I've given you an equation here. I want you guys to take your time on solving this one, okay? There's only solving for x, not for y. Do the best you can. Go for it. Okay, now, as you try to solve this, I have 2x here, but there's no other like terms here for x's. There's no other x's on this side. I have a negative 24 and I have a positive 3. Negative 24, positive 3. I have to deal with that, right? I have to deal with this. Negative 24, positive 3. 3 minus 24, you're going to subtract. So I'm going to get 21, but the negative's bigger. Negative 21. Use your calculator if you struggle with that kind of math. Use your calculator, please, okay? All right, then I look to this side and I have an x here, an x here. Nice. But I'm combining like terms. So 6x and this is not an 8, it's a negative 8. So just like over here, negative 24 and 3, negative 8 and 6 is going to be negative 2x. The negative's larger. That's why it's going to be subtracting and taking the negative. Plus 12. Okay? All right, now we're going to go letters to the left. This negative 2x, we have to add it. 4x minus 21 equals 12. All right. Now we're going to add 21. Two plus one's three. 3, so it's going to be 33. All right. It's not going to be a nice, cute whole number. It's going to be a fraction, and you can just leave it just like that. You can leave it like that. Your final answer can be an improper fraction. We haven't done a lot of these, but that's okay. That can be your final answer. All right. So let's have a little fun. How many times? If you did want to give me a decimal, that's okay. But let's just see. 33 divided by 4. 8.25. 8.25. 8.25. 8.25. We're going to cross out 8.25. We're going to cross out 2. And we're going to cross out 5. Let's go. All right. Got a lot of it crossing out right there. All right. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let me give you one we did yesterday. Let's see how you guys can do on that. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this one out on your paper. I want you to see, don't write this all out. Don't write this all out. But try to give me what you think the actual variables are going to be. And let's go ahead and read this together. John and Isaiah spent a total of $181. So that's an equation right there in itself. That's an equation. John spent 20 more than Isaiah. How much did Isaiah spend? All right. John plus Isaiah, right, equals 181. I'm going to go back to my paper in a second. This is too hard to do with my mouse. But you got this part here. All right, let's go back to the paper here. And then John spent 20 more than Isaiah. John spent 20 more than Isaiah. So John plus Isaiah, was it 181? I already forgot. 181, cool. Okay. Equals 181. Sorry, the landscapers are right here doing work, so it might get a little loud. And then John, did he spend more? Yeah, John spent more than Isaiah. $20 more. So John equals Isaiah plus 20. If you put 20 plus I plus Isaiah, that's okay. That's not wrong. But then let's just make sure we understand what we're doing now. We have a piece of the puzzle. What does all of this equal? It equals John. So now we can use this to plug it in to solve for John, or to solve for Isaiah. So we're going to take this and we're going to put it where John is. And I want you guys to get that. So we're going to cross it out and handle it. All right. So it's going to be I plus 20. That's what we did right here, right? We plug that in, I plus 20 plus another I equals 181. Now you just have a simple equation you can solve for Isaiah. But when you have two I's, so some of my students are still kind of struggling, like, well, what do I do now? I'm like, come on, guys. We know what to do here. Just like what we do right here, where we combine like terms. Like terms. You have like terms here. Like terms. So like term, like term. So 2I. That's 2 I's. Plus 20 equals 181. Subtract 20. Is that going to be 161? Divide 2. I equals, it's going to be 80.5. If you use a calculator, that's fine. 80.5. Unfortunately, that doesn't help us on our board, does it? We've already done 8. We've already done 5. How about this? 8 minus 5 is 3, so let's cross out 3. Cool. All right, let's keep it rolling. Let me give you a couple more. If I gave you x plus 4y equals 8, y equals, we'll say, 2x plus, let's say, 3. All right, what are you going to do here? Try to handle this. And just actually, I don't know if I gave you a nice one or not. I don't think I did. It's okay. Still try to solve it. What are you going to do? Plug it in. If you could just solve this for x, that'd be great. Let's go ahead and try this. Maybe just solve it for x for me. Just solve it for x. X is going to be a fraction. Where does it go? Right here. And I'm going to write this 4. All right, I got to that point. Keep it going. 8x and x is going to be 9x. And then what? Subtract 12. X equals -4/9. Okay? I know. I made it up on the fly. That's why it wasn't a nice, neat. You could plug this back in and try to solve it. That's fine, but we're not asking that. Okay? You could put this into a decimal form and plug it in, multiply it by 2, and then add 3. You could do that, but we're not doing that now. Now, let's go ahead. -4/9. We already have 4. We don't have 9. All right? Nice. All right. How about one more? If you can't fit it, let's try to do a quick one. I'll do a quick one here. 4x plus 3 equals 2x plus 2. All right, last problem here. On this side. Go ahead and try to solve it. Eventually, if you notice, 4x plus 4. You should notice this right away. Same variables, different constants. No solution. Okay? If you kept solving it, you would get 0x equals 1. What times 0 equals 1? Nothing. All right? All right, on the back side, you're going to do your Jeopardy review. Do the best you can on that, and then study those Jeopardy questions tonight. Those Jeopardy questions are going to be almost identical to the practice benchmark.